So one of the hot topics that comes up in clinic and also is really big in research is the role of the gut and brain. And this is true across all of the brain diseases and the dementia and the degenerative brain conditions that we're familiar with in this website. So I think they need to be taken in different ways. And so the truth of the matter is that there is increasing interest about whether gut bacteria, so the microbiome, is related to various diseases. And the truth of the matter is that the microbiome effectively is a very complex beast that people don't understand properly at this time. So we all know that there are the good bacteria, or bacteria that colonize our bodies, on our skin, and also in our gut. And the bottom line is that what we don't know is whether they are actually related to any of the diseases that we know about. So it is clear that understanding whether there are disruptions in that microbiome might give us some insights into the disease and the microbiome. However, it's less clear as to whether this is a cause or an effect. So for example, and this isn't just true across brain, dementia and all of those degenerating diseases, lots of people are studying this in lots of other diseases, especially at this time. The fact of the matter is, if we were to study the bacterial composition, the microbiome of healthy older people, and then compare them to, let's say, people with Parkinson's disease who we know have got a problem with their bowel. We know that the bowel, the nerves supplying the bowel have got pathology, which means that the bowel doesn't seem to work properly, and they got constipation, they've got this abnormality. It would be surprising to me to think that they would have exactly the same bacteria, because we know that the transit time of food passing through the bowel is going to be much slower in Parkinson's. So when you see research that says, we found a different microbiome in Parkinson's disease compared to healthy people, I guess the question has to be, yes, but is it a cause or is it an effect? Is the abnormal gut bacteria the thing that's made the Parkinson's happen, which seems possibly less likely, or is it the Parkinson's that has changed the nature of the microbiome? And this is a very hot topic of research. A lot of people are looking at this around the world, and we don't have the answer yet. But in lieu of that, what I am concerned about is when I hear patients coming in saying, I've had my bacteria analysed, or I believe my bacteria are going to be abnormal. I've spoken to a gut specialist and they've recommended a course of antibiotics to try and kill off those bad bacteria. And I'm a bit concerned about that, because there is absolutely no evidence that changing the gut bacteria is going to have an impact on the disease. Now, that's not to say that it won't, and I think that if the studies were done and showed that, then that'd be great. We would call that a clinical trial and we would have evidence to support it. At the moment, though, the idea of saying, we think there are bad bacteria, we're going to give you these very powerful antibiotics that we don't actually expect will necessarily change the course of your disease, is probably something I would tell people to avoid at this time. The truth is that giving antibiotics, as you know, can be associated with various side effects, and just killing off a bunch of bacteria, to me, allows, if you like, space in the market. Maybe there are going to be other bacteria, maybe worse bacteria, that might actually drive things. Maybe it's going to change the absorption, maybe it's going to change the steady state that person has got to, where their tablets seem to work as they should. So I think before people go launching and changing their gut microbiome, they really need to think these things through and take good advice from their specialists.